February's gone, but the year marches forward. Hello everyone and welcome back to My FI Crusade. I'm your host, the FI Crusader, and it is the month of March. And so that means it is time for a net worth update. Now before we get into the numbers, take a second if you haven't already to click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. It helps my channel to grow and get more exposure, and it helps my content to get out to more people. And what I really want to do with this channel is to inspire people to, just like I did, even if you've been making financial mistakes your entire life, to turn that around and become financially independent. Work towards funding your retirement and making sure that when you retire, there's money there to sustain you and to help you to live your life the way that you want to. So anyone who has money in the market knows what happened last week. Last week, everybody freaked out about the coronavirus spreading, and so the stock markets, both the S&P 500 and the Dow, dropped about 12% last week. This was just panic selling by a whole bunch of people who thought that the spread of the coronavirus was accelerating and therefore people needed to get out of whatever stocks that they were in. And so as soon as people started seeing cases showing up in the US, saw spread from people who hadn't had any contact with people who had been abroad, they started to panic and they started to sell. And what that meant was in the span of 5 days, my portfolio dropped about $3,000. Now, what I did in response to that is I took $1,000 from my bonus this year, which thankfully I got right at the end of February. I took $1,000 and I funded my IRA for the next 2 months. So I don't have to put money in for the next 2 months, and I just bought on a fire sale. That being said, let's look at my assets. So looking at the numbers, you can see that my home hasn't changed much. It's still $200,000. As much as my city wants to keep reappraising the property as quickly as they possibly can in order to increase my taxes, the actual retail price of my home hasn't really changed. Bank account went up quite significantly for two reasons, actually three. One being that I got my tax return. The second reason being that I got a bonus from my company. And the third reason being that I am actually carrying more money in my bank accounts right now because of the baby that's on the way. And if you saw my video from last week, you'll know that I have a son on the way in July, and so I am trying to keep cash on hand for all the stuff that's going to come with that, the buying of the crib and the baby clothes and the diapers and all that stuff. So I want to keep some liquidity, and I don't want to put that money into my retirement accounts because while I am going to continue to fund my retirement accounts, as evident by my $1,000 increase in my IRA and the fact that I am still contributing to my 401k at 15% like I have been, I do want to keep as much additional money that's coming in cash so that I can pay for all of the other expenses that are coming with the baby. In addition to the bank accounts, there is my retirement accounts, which also went up about $1,900. $1,000 of that is actually the money that I put in just within the last 48 hours. So that brings the total of all of my assets to $242,216, which is a $6,040 increase in my assets since last month. Now the assets only tell half the story, so let's look at my liabilities. Now since I've been paying on my mortgage has actually gone down. It is now $195,108. A lot of the payment that that goes into my mortgage is actually in escrow and interest. So the total reduction there is just under $725, but it is a reduction nonetheless. In addition, my credit card balance has gone down slightly. It is now $13,821. My home improvement loans have reduced to $27,604, and my student loans went up to $76,211. And if you watched my video from last month, you'll know the reason why my student loans are continuing to increase is because they are currently in forbearance. They are accruing interest, but I am making no payments on them. Even with the about $290 increase in my student loans, that still reduced my liabilities for the month. The total of my liabilities now stands at $312,744, which means my liabilities have actually reduced by $947 this month. What that means is my net worth now stands at $70,528, which is a $6,987 change in 1 month. That's not going to happen every month. That is absolutely not going to happen every month. That's crazy. The big things that happened here this month that I hadn't taken into account were the bonus that I received from my company and the tax returns from this month, which I did my taxes early, so I expected that to happen in March. It actually happened in February. So that huge difference is not going to be something that happens regularly. However, it does make up for what happened in January, where I actually lost net worth. And that was because of the issue that happened in December, which you can watch the video on that here. What I expect to see, really about $2,000 to $3,000 net worth change each month. Probably in the neighborhood of the $2,500, like split the difference. But I do expect to see a change in my net worth every month. I just don't expect to see a nearly $7,000 net worth change. So that's where we stand at the beginning of March. We should be so lucky to see that happen again next month, but it's not going to happen next month. So what do I expect for next month? I think I'm going to go with the $2,500. I think, honestly, with the $700 payment on my mortgages, probably close to a $1,000 payment on my credit cards, the home improvement loans will probably go down about $1,000, but I think that there's probably going to be a reduction in my bank account next month because I'm going to start buying things for the baby. We're going to start building up the nursery, so bank accounts will probably go down, and given the way that the markets are right now, it's anybody's guess as to what's going to happen with the retirement accounts. I would not be surprised if they stay about flat for the next month. However, it depends on what happens with the coronavirus. If the virus goes crazy, if it starts spreading everywhere and there's no foreseeable vaccine on the market or on the horizon, then I would say that you're probably going to see the stock markets go down in the short term. What happens with the election? Well, I'm going to be watching that for the next couple of months, and probably around July, I'm going to put out a video, probably forecasting what I think is going to happen with the elections and the retirement accounts. So keep your eye out for that one. If you haven't already, again, I suggest you subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. That way you'll know when I give out these net worth updates, and you'll see when I post my video on my predictions for the stock market in the back half of 2020. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button, let me know that you liked it. Comment down below, let me know if you guys have been tracking your own net worth, and if your net worth is going up or down. It's very important that you track your net worth. If you want to build a retirement fund, you absolutely have to be tracking your net worth. You absolutely have to be budgeting. Because if you're not doing those two things, it's a crapshoot. It's luck if you're going to have money to retire with. So make sure that you're budgeting, make sure that you're checking your net worth and basically giving yourself a report card, which is what this is. This is my report card showing how well I did last month, how poorly I did the month before. This is keeping me accountable, and I think that it's important to always keep yourself accountable. It helps you to make changes when you're doing things wrong, because you actually get to see it. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.